Cold Logic says I stopped updating the app.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not
I
wrong.
was talking with Chris and actually talking with Kelsey about this the other day. I think that literally every app is like making a conscious effort to update their app so they're worse. Like YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, fucking Facebook, Reddit. They all suck now. They're all the worst versions of them that I've seen in a while. But yes, so I wouldn't call the video game news. It's not like there wasn't a huge announcement. It's just it's exciting from a journalistic standpoint because it's an update on the biggest story we talked about last time.
Do you want to get started with that?
I want to end with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a few. So on my iPad, it's still the old version without the feed.
Good for you.
Yeah, that I would prefer that. I would prefer that for sure. Big thing. I just have to talk about it. It's all anyone's talking about. Have you heard of Alarmo?
No.
Have you heard of this fucking creep? There's a little. So Nintendo. Everyone's so excited and ready for the announcement of Switch 2. Nintendo has released an alarm clock.
Great.
The alarm clock is called Alarmo. And the way this alarm clock works, because it can't just be a fucking alarm clock. They got to be all Nintendo-y about it. But basically, you pick a game. You have like 5 games to pick from. It was like Odyssey, Splatoon 3, Breath of the Wild. I think Ring Fit was in there. And basically, when it's time for you to wake up, it's going to play a song from that game. So for Mario, it's going to be Jump Up Superstar.
Right.
But to aid you in getting out of bed, this alarm clock is going to be watching you at all hours, and it's going to be tracking your movement. So
what?
When it's time to wake up, it's 8:30 a.m. Bling, it's time to jump up in the air. It's Pauline. She's going crazy on the mic. While you're twisting and turning and moving around in bed, it's going to make the sound of you collecting coins from Mario.
Oh, I don't like that.
Because it's gonna watch you,
So
and then here's the killer.
Yeah.
Here's the killer app for this alarm clock. When you stand up and get out of bed, it shuts itself off because it knows that you are awake now.
What if I get up to pee in the middle of the night? Is it gonna wake my wife up with a bunch of?
No. Once it goes into wake up mode, all this stuff happens.
Oh, okay.
So it's.
But you said it's watching me all night.
Right. Well, I think I'm pretty sure it is. But what it's going to do is, like, you set a time, and it's like, okay, at 8:30, it's go time, like any other alarm clock. And then, but as soon as 8:30 clicks on, it's like Nintendo alarm clock mode. And it's like, here's Jump Up Superstar. You move a fucking inch in that bed, you're going to collect a coin, motherfucker. You have the Splatoon one, you move an inch in that bed, you're going to splat a wall with paint or whatever happens in those games.
Cold Logic says TIHI?
TIHI.
I don't know if I know that one.
I don't know if I know that one either. I might be too old for that. TIHI. I don't know. But yeah, and then once you stand up.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it. Oh, I love that. I'm going to use that from now on. That's great. Yeah, and then once you stand up and you're out of bed, it just shuts off, and you don't have to click a button. It's just all automatic.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Y'all need to spend more time on Reddit, or I need to spend less. I was gonna say I feel like I spend a fair amount on Reddit, but I've never seen Thanks, I hate it.
I love it though.
But I do love it. So that's Alarmo. That's all Nintendo's got.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. Elia Harris 887. Thank you. Elias Harris says, yo, what's up, buddy? Nothing much. How you doing? Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for being here. Sorry, I was. It doesn't say first time chatter on the app because why would it? The app is terrible. But
first time chat.
Yeah. Well, how's your day going? It's going great. We just started. We're talking about video game news. We just got discussing Alarmo for Smash Brothers or whatever. And now we're gonna talk about the state of play, because I thought there wasn't much news today, but then I remembered we never talked about the state of play. The state of play was actually pretty exciting.
They say I just followed you on Twitter and would appreciate a follow back. Yeah, we got you. We'll do that after we finish up today.
Yes, but also, do you just want to follow on Twitter, or do you have a Twitch account as well? Because we can follow you on both.
Yeah. And on Twitch, we can actually give you 2 follows.
Yes.
2 follows for the price of 1. Just before, be sure to stick around.
Yeah, absolutely.
'Cause
Yeah, we will do that.
Roughly
tonight,
2
right?
hours.
Yeah.
We'll be streaming 2 hours. So once we're done, we'll definitely hit you up. Let us know though if you're also looking for Twitch.
Okay, so there was a PlayStation State of Play. No one was super excited for it, but there was some cool stuff. The biggest reveal, in my opinion, is the sequel to Ghosts of Tsushima. It's called where was it?
Oh yeah, you love that game.
It's called Ghost of Yote. It's gonna have a female protagonist.
Oh, okay.
And the female protagonist is actually being mocapped and voiced by person I actually follow. Her name's Erika Ishii. She's been in a few College Humor things. She does voice acting here and there. And she's going to be the face of this game, which is very exciting.
Oh, that's cool.
They announced Astrobot is getting DLC. Honestly, as a longtime Astrobot fan, the DLC looked kind of lame. It was just like a few speedrun maps.
Sure.
I was just like, okay, cool. Can I play the game properly yet? Or
Fire Striker says I'm so excited for that game.
Yeah.
I think referring to
Ghost of
yeah.
Yote,
Cold Logic says, "Oh snap! I haven't played the game, but I really enjoyed watching it." I also haven't played the game, but it seemed like it would be a lot of fun.
Ghosts of Tsushima is what I wanted from Assassin's Creed. Like, I think Assassin's Creed is doing a fine job doing what they're doing, but I prefer what Ghosts of Tsushima is doing. I really liked it and appreciated it.
Okay, fair enough.
I love that game. I actually never beat it, but it's really fun. It's a very fun game. I just got the update that Elia Harris is following me on Twitter, so I will get to that afterwards. They announced Horizon Zero Dawn remastered. No one cares. They talked more about Lego Horizon Adventures. I think some people care. They showed up the PS4 Pro more. Cool. Alan Wake 2. This is actually kind of cool. I know you and I don't play these games, but Alan Wake 2 is getting a Control-themed DLC. So the people who make Alan Wake 2 took a break from making Alan Wake to make Control, which got like crazy popular.
Sure.
So now they're finally officially joining the two franchises
cool.
in one DLC pack. Yeah, a bunch of games. A new game called Arc Age Chronicles, which looked neat. The new Dragon Age, the new Dynasty Warriors. This one was cool. So if you remember I think it was... Oh, are we... What happened?
Yeah, no, Cold Logic.
Used a word banned by the Twitch overlords.
We'll allow it this time.
What was it? What was the...
It's GTFO.
Why would
I know.
that ever... Okay. He even censored himself, and it's still...
Yeah,
whatever.
no, I know. Sorry about that, Cold Logic.
Do you remember... when the last thing we watched, the last like live event we watched, I think it was Summer Game Fest. Do you remember that what are they called? Blumhouse, the people who make Saw?
Yeah.
Remember they were like, we have a game studio now. Here's 8
that's
horror
right.
games, and like one of them was a weird Stardew Valley game, and one of them was like, so the first one of those is coming out. It's called Fear the Spotlight. It looked really cool. It looks like a PS1 game. And it kind of looked Silent Hill-ish, except there's a spotlight that like is always following you, and you have to avoid it, like the Eye of Sauron or whatever. It looked very, very, very cool.
Cold Logic intentionally sent a message that was like, "This is gonna get banned," and then was like, "I'll stop." That's fine. We had a podcast once, like 2 years ago, where we were like, just let's see what it let's try and see where the line is with Nightbot. We're not doing that tonight.
The line is crazy.
Yeah, it's weird what it'll stop and what it won't.
They announced Hitman World of Assassination, which is the latest Hitman VR thing. I'm
Sure.
not a huge fan of VR. I thought it would be out of style by now. They announced this one was very exciting for me because I just played Astrobot, obviously, and there was a lot of games in there that I was like, man, I've never played this game, and this game is reminding me of that. So I made a list of games I want to play. And the game series I was most excited about trying for the first time was called Legacy of Kain. I'm sure you've heard that term before. They're really inaccessible. And then like 2 days later at this event, they announced Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered for PS5.
Very
and
cool.
PS4 apparently. and I'm really looking forward to that. Similarly, we got the Lunar Remastered Collection. There's a new Metro game. There's more about that new Monster Hunters game. Pal World, amid the lawsuit, was officially announced for PlayStation at this event.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, PlayStation doesn't give a shit about the Pokemon lawsuit. They're just glad they have it. Cold Logic says, agreed. I think VR has a long way to go, but it just keeps hanging on. And then that's a buy in Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
I think referring to that.
Yeah.
Soul
Reaver.
I also agree. Oh, sorry. No, go
No,
ahead.
you go.
I was just going to say, I also think, I think VR is going to be a very cool concept. I think we're still about 4 years away from me being like, man, I'm missing out on VR.
I mean, VR is interesting, right? Because there's almost two types of experiences on VR. There's games like Beat Saber where you just play for a few minutes and you're like, that was crazy fun. Back to reading a book. Or you play a whole ass video game, except this time it's in VR. And I feel like that is not the way to do it. I feel like the Beat Saber way to do it is way better. But then the headset is like $300, $400, $500.
Right.
So what are you really paying for?
See, the issue with VR as a full game is you really need the treadmill pad and shit like that.
That's not a real
No, it's not.
thing.
It's not. But you know what I'm talking about. Whenever, like, it's in Ready Player One, I think, and shit like that. No, it's not a real thing. At least, definitely not on a consumer level.
Well, I don't think that's the issue, because you could just move forward with you're holding a real ass controller.
I know, but if that's the case, like, just play it on the TV.
Yeah, no, that's
that's where it's losing. My point is that's where it's losing me.
That's where it's losing me too. But I don't think the addition of more expensive hardware is what's going to
project it forward.
Bring,
sure.
At least as far as I'm concerned. Like,
hey,
if they're like, no, this one's crazy. You don't have to take your glasses off this time, and you won't get a headache. And also, there's a treadmill for $600.
No, Cold Logic's got it figured out.
Oh, we're in Futurama.
Keep going with the news, though. I just want to throw my 2 cents in on VR.
There's going to be Nier Automata Stellar Blade DLC. You can play as what's this character called? 2B in Stellar Blade. A few indie games were announced. Even more. I really thought we were done with this. I'm glad we aren't, because it seems like this means that it's still popular. Even more DLC for TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Oh my god.
They're adding what is this dude's name? They're adding Mondo Gecko and Venus de Milo.
Okay.
Or sorry, her name's Mona. This says her name is Mona Lisa. I think her name is Venus de Milo, though. I think they're wrong. Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, I do want to talk about for a moment, because I'm just so confused why we're still talking about it. Because that game is almost out, right? I think it's out like next week. I feel like I've been hearing about this game forever. And I am a Sonic fan. This is not a new Sonic game.
Right.
So Sonic Generations, my favorite Sonic game personally. There's a remake of that. But that game was already like a collection of past levels, basically. And the whole gimmick was now you can play 3D levels in 2D and 2D levels in 3D and go back and forth, right?
Sure.
This one just adds Shadow. It's going to add Shadow playable, but it's also going to add things from his game, which was also a little confusing to me because, as you know, there's many, many Sonic games. There's one video game called Shadow the Hedgehog.
Right.
So I don't know how much of that is going to be in there. They just announced earlier the day that this was, there was a Sega Live that we're not even talking about because it was boring as fuck. But they just keep talking about this game. I feel like whenever they have a new Sonic game, like Sonic Forces or Sonic Frontiers, I feel like they don't promote them nearly as much. But this one, that's just a remake of a collection, basically, is like getting so much press. Anyways, they announced a new level where you can play as Keanu Reeves' Shadow from the movie.
Cool.
Cool. Which is cool. I'm not saying that's not cool. It's just like, just release your game, please.
Right.
And that is about it. Now we move on to the big news.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't even think I've told you about or you have heard about.
I'm curious because I also have one bit of video game news.
Is it about Pal World?
No.
Okay. So maybe you do your video game news and then
I have regular news too. Are we not doing that now or?
No, we're doing video game and then we're going to do regular news.
Okay.
So just hit us with your bit of video game news, and then I'll get to the big show.
So, I just thought this was interesting, considering all the big moves that have been being made by Xbox and Nintendo. This came out a couple weeks ago. At this point, we don't update this podcast that often, but Sony thought Conquered, which is a game I never heard of, was the future of PlayStation. They reportedly cost record-breaking $400 million went into the Conquered video game. So that's where Sony's at.
So that's hilarious that you don't know about Conquered. It's the biggest meme ever right now because Conquered was advertised for quite some time. No one bought it and no one cared. It was a multiplayer focused venture. It lasted about 20 days before they pulled it from marketplaces. I think you can still buy it. You just can't play the multiplayer, which is the whole point of the game. So yeah, Sony just lost a lot of money on Conquered.
Supposedly they thought it was going to be like the next Star Wars, like the next.
Oh yeah,
big
they you can tell that they put a lot of money into this. It's crazy now that we have the actual number. But yeah, just a huge miss from Sony, and it almost pissed me off a little too much because I want them to fix Astrobot. Still can't play it. And all people can talk about is, in terms of Sony, is how big of a failure Conquered was.
Right.
And it's like, sure, but what's hilarious is that we talked about this before on this show, but there's a new the people who made Love, Death, and Robots is making a TV show based off video games.
Right.
One of the episodes is going to be about Conquered.
No shit.
That's probably going to be the most lore we were ever going to get for Conquered.
Oh my god, that's funny. Cool Logic says the next Star Wars bold. Yeah, no, exactly. They had a lot of faith in that game, and apparently it.
If they had so much faith in it, why are they so quick to pull it? That's what I don't understand. Like, I know that your user base is bad, but like, do something to make it better rather than just pulling it and being like, well, I guess we'll lose 400 mil or whatever number you said.
That might have been. I think taking that loss might have been a better look than them trying to fix it and still nobody putting more money into fixing it and nobody caring about it still.
I guess I don't know.
But I hear what you're saying. It seems like an awkward situation no matter how you roll the dice on that one. But I only bring it up. I almost passed right by it, but I was like, come on, PlayStation.
Yeah.
With all the shit that's going on, that's probably why they didn't buy out anybody. Or, like, Xbox for the last, 2 years have been making some major moves. And PlayStation's just like, no. Just wait. Just wait. We got Conquered.
Do you see the advertising on this site that's blocking the text?
Yes.
That's frustrating. Okay, well, I did not think we'd be here, but something crazy happened.
I don't think I know.
There's a new development in the Nintendo Pal World lawsuit.
Okay.
There was a Pocket Pair whistleblower.
Oh.
Who basically, and I've got their tweets right here. They basically, in so many words, said they were on the design aspect of designing the PALs.
Sure.
They had a bunch of concepts for PAL designs, and basically their boss's boss was like, make these more like Pokemon.
I feel like we all knew that, though. And that's not even what they're trying to that's not even what the lawsuit's about, though,
right,
is it?
Right. So these are translated from Japanese.
Right.
But I'm just gonna go over them real quick. Do whatever you want to know how much the CEO looks down on Nintendo. We talked about the design, and I also know how much you look down on me, the designer who quit. And then he uses an unsavory word that I think was translated incorrectly. I don't care if it's a breach of contract. More than that, as a former character designer who was involved, I won't forgive you guys. First, the CEO said, quote, I'm acquainted with Nintendo, so they can't sue me too quickly. And secondly, his instructions to me were, quote, Please create a design that will rank within the top 100 of the Pokemon popularity rankings. It's okay to sue for patent infringement rather than design. I no longer hesitate to provide information. I can't post the chat work because it has been deleted. I hate myself for not taking a screenshot. I'm tired of everything. Give me back my children, referring to his design.
Oh.
Like I said, this is translated from Japanese. I don't allow change to the design if it's going to be made into a synthetic chimera, and even though I've said over and over again that I don't like plagiarism, the design I was involved in was also critiqued for being plagiarized. I won't be able to keep quiet while provoking you any longer. I will tear up the contract. And then he says, when I die, the CEO will realize that he pushed the designers to such an extent that it killed people. So a little extreme from this person, but the fact of the matter is, it sounds like a lot of people, some people were like, oh, they stole character models straight up. Like, they went into the code on Scarlet and Violet, and they took this thing's tail and used it as this thing's mouth. It seems like that didn't happen. It seems like this person designed little tiny creatures, and the CEO was like, make them more like Pokemon.
Right.
Or you're fired, basically.
I mean, it's pretty clear. Cold Logic says, wow, that's greasy. It is. And, I mean, this isn't something new. We actually saw a situation like this happen at Boston Comic Con between two artists in Artist Alley, where one was taking the other's design. They might have even copied it.
That's different though, because that's literally someone else selling the exact print that they're not supposed to.
And what I'm saying, yes, but what I'm saying is, even if they just made their own best rendition of that person's art, you still can't do that. That's not yours. And
right.
See, this is a bad example because I feel like in Artist Alley, that even gets a little fudged because none of them should be, unless they're,
there's
signed off.
definitely a contractual gray area where it's like, yes, I didn't ask Nintendo for the use of their Earthbound characters for my fan art, but just shut up.
Right.
It's fine.
At cons.
Right.
But my point is, they could have made their own sprites. It still looks like fucking Pokemon. Like, they still look.
Well, it sounds like this person and other people on his team made an attempt to distinguish them, because there are other Pokemon likes, There's Cassette Beasts and that other one that was like an MMO that I think it also had the word pal in it. I think it was called like Pal. I don't know. There was a like a long in development MMO that was basically Pokemon, and then there's like man, I had them all up here. There's a few. There's been Pokemon clones. There's literally a licensed Pokemon clones. Like, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh game that's basically just Pokemon. There's a Dragon Ball game. Did we crash?
No, I don't see anything. Cold Logic says, not sure if stream froze or it's just me. Gonna reload.
I don't know if you can hear me. I think it's just you.
Yeah.
How are our frames?
No, haven't lost one.
Yeah, I think it's just you, Cold Logic.
Yeah, and things are going on my end, so I think that's just Cold Logic. Yeah, just me,
yeah,
Cold
okay.
Logic.
Yeah, no worries. But that's what I'm saying. Like, why? That was my question before when we talked about this. So many Pokemon clones have existed, and I'll be the first to say none of them are as good as Pokemon, straight up. None of them. Not even the ones that use Pokemon assets like fan games and stuff. Why Pal World? Pal World is the first that's like so different. Yes, you catch Pokemon in Pokeballs, but it's like a 7 Days to Die Rust style survival game. It's nothing. It's not an RPG at all. It's nothing like Pokemon.
I don't think any of the other Pokemon, for lack of a better term, knockoffs have gotten the
this
immediate.
Close?
Yes, the immediate. What am I trying to say?
Like comparison?
Yeah, validation from the general mainstream that this is a legitimate game.
So Cassette Beast comes out and people are like, oh, a fun Pokemon. Like, this game comes out and they're like, wow, these would be cool if they were actual Pokemon.
And
I'm going to play this instead or whatever.
For whatever reason, Pal World jetted off, and not only is it Pokemon-like in its design, but it also isn't like Pokemon in a lot of ways.
Right.
So it might be filling a need that people want from Pokemon that Pokemon isn't edgy enough to give them. I think all that to say, I think that all scared Pokemon.
Right.
And they were like, oh, well, put an end to this
it's
immediately.
Just so interesting. As far as I can see, there was 3 things that I could see Nintendo being mad at. Number 1 was they look alike a Pokemon. Number 2 was the things that look like Pokemon shoot guns. That goes against Nintendo's like moral whatever. And third most important on the list was when you throw a Pokeball, it kind of looks like the animation from Legends Arceus. And that's what they're suing them on.
Right.
So I think Nintendo absolutely knows that unless they go for that one, they do not have a case.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, you can make your shit look as similar to Pokemon unless you're like, this is Pikachu and it's like got one ear flap different. Other than that, it's exactly the same Pokemon. Like, you can't tell me that the little electric chimp from that game looks like Pikachu. Like, it does. It absolutely does. But like, if I'm a judge or I'm a jury and I'm like, is that thing Pikachu? No, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
So they had to sue based off patent rights, which is, as I explained last time, I won't get into it this time, real scummy, because it's almost like the Comic-Con unwritten rule we were talking about, where it's like, listen, we're going to steal, we want climbing in our game, we're just going to do it the exact way Assassin's Creed did, and Ubisoft is just going to not look our way.
Right.
Literally, I remember when Shadow of Mordor came out, there was a similar... Ubisoft, he wasn't a whistleblower. He was just sort of like someone chatting on Twitter, but he was basically like, that is my engine. He wasn't mad about it, but he was just like, I programmed in this engine for years. I'd recognize it immediately. That's Assassin's Creed climbing in that video game. And even though he admitted that, there was never a Shadow of Mordor lawsuit from Ubisoft.
No, I mean,
you don't do that.
Yeah, it's an industry understanding, and it's funny because I feel like we're seeing, this is a wildly different thing, but I feel like we're seeing a Disney deadmau5 situation where it's like, well, Nintendo, you made the first move. Are you ready to walk up to the altar for your sins? Can everybody just start suing you for the shit that you may have stolen from them now? Right.
Well, the Disney deadmau5 thing was fucking crazy because Disney was like, you sort of look like a mouse and that's hurting our brand. And deadmau5 was like, you literally used my song unedited without my permission. What are you talking about?
That's my point. That's my point is Nintendo's getting petty.
I forgot about that. That's
Nintendo's getting petty. Are they ready?
Well, they're getting petty, but they're also getting greedy.
Well, that's
they're seeing the #1 sales all time on Steam, 3 weeks in a row, and they're like, that's money that we could have.
Right.
Scarlet and Violet didn't do as good as we thought it did, even though it did better than the last one, because every single Pokemon game does better than the last one. Pokemon is, and I'll say this again until it's not true, the most profitable multimedia franchise in history. Pokemon
you're not
is.
Wrong. I think we might potentially see some other people, depending on how this lawsuit goes, coming out of the woodworks pointing the finger at Pokemon. I'm sorry, not Pokemon, Nintendo.
Nintendo as a whole, yeah.
If this is the way they're gonna do business.
Yeah, because you can't tell me that there's not like.
Oh no, they've taken something from somebody, you know that.
Yeah.
But it seems like that's been an acceptable thing in the industry. But if they're going to cross the boundary,
typically when you do something like that, you will buy the rights to it or just straight up hire the people to do it. So, for example, there was a game, I forget what it was called. It was called like, Paranormal Drop or something like that. It was a game where you play as a prince trying to rescue a princess from an ogre, but the way you did that is you had this like gateway that you could like stick on a wall and go to like a different part of the room.
Sure.
So Valve took that indie company, said work for us, and then they made Portal, and then Portal was like the biggest game of all time. Nintendo literally did that with snipper clips. There was another game called like Friend Cuts or something like that, or shape cuts, something like that. And they were like, hey, do you want to make shape cuts for us? And we'll give you Nintendo money, and you'll make a Nintendo game for Nintendo, and we'll call it Snipper Clips. So that happens.
Yeah.
And it's but you're not going to, you can't tell me that, like, I wouldn't be, because this has also happened. Narbacular Drop, that's what it was called. That's what the Portal game was called. I just thought of it. I don't know why. I bet you anything that there's some sort of mechanic, some sort of very specific mechanic, like maybe the circling around a Pokemon in Pokemon Rangers, or the covering an entire side of a field with ink that some indie developer has done before they did, and
Well, that's what I'm saying.
they have the opportunity to be like, all right, Nintendo, if you're gonna screw over fellow indie dev Pocket Pair, fucking give us money for Splatoon because we came up with the gun.
Depending on how this lawsuit pans out, it's now opened the floodgates for those type of lawsuits. You can't say Nintendo gets to take down Pocket Pair, but this indie dev who did the thing before Nintendo can't do it to Nintendo.
Right.
Cold Logic. All this to say, I am also going to continue buying Nintendo games, and you can't tell me not to. But it doesn't make it any better. I think that's all I can say on that.
It's just crazy. I didn't expect an update quite like this for this story yet. I didn't expect an update for this story yet, and it's the gaming industry is such a fascinating time right now, because this is just coming off the tail of all the Xbox merger stuff. We didn't even talk about the fact that I think Sega or something, some company is trying to buy Ubisoft right now, and Ubisoft is like had to make a statement like, "Hey guys, we're not selling. Please take us out of the conversation." Basically, it's just like a crazy time to be in this industry, for better or for worse.
I'm gonna move things ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready for it, and I am paying attention. I'm just gonna pull up some Goop stuff while you go over pop culture news.
So, well, actually, I need your help real quick.
Oh yeah, sure.
Before you do that, so I'm gonna say a sentence of words.
Okay.
If you want to know anything more than the sentence that I say, I'm gonna need you to look it up.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Cards Against Humanity is suing Elon Musk for $15 million.
Okay. Cool. I hope they win. Fuck that
All
guy.
right, great,
I think.
Great.
Is he saving the planet or isn't he? He ruined Twitter.
Question.
That's all I know.
Alex Jones. We talked about him.
Yes.
A few months ago, actually.
I'm not familiar with his work, but I'm familiar with his grim legacy.
Yes. His show Infowars is to be auctioned off to help pay the $1.5 billion it's billion with a B.
What a loser.
That he owes Sandy Hook families.
What a fucking loser.
He definitely isn't saving the planet, says Cold Logic. Good to know. Speaking on Elon Musk. Did you see a mouse over there?
I feel like I hear one, but it might just be the AC.
Okay.
Fuck that guy, dude. That guy sucks. I hope that guy's career is completely I'm auctioning off my show. Oh, my show was bought by Conan O'Brien. What do you think's gonna happen? No one wants your shitty show. Do you want to know who'd be in the market to buy Infowars? Donald Trump, if he loses.
There's not enough laughing emojis for Alex Jones, says Cold Logic. F that guy. No, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I'm just laughing because I have no emotions. I have no hate left in my heart for Alex Jones. I've done all the hating. Now I'm just laughing at the joke of a man that he is. It's like Tiger King guy. It's just like, I'm no longer angry. I'm just laughing at how much you suck.
More or less. I mean, I'm still angry at Alex Jones until he's paying off the debt he'll never be able to pay off in his life.
Yeah.
I'm still angry at him. The former American Pickers host Frank Fritz is dead at 60.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Not necessarily news we would typically report on.
No, but I am obviously familiar with the this guy.
Yeah.
That was a good. I remember liking that show.
Yeah, American Pickers was fun. It's still going on. He left a while back. Just didn't want to be in the public eye anymore.
Oh man, it sounds like probably because of.
No.
Oh.
From my understanding, and I don't want to tell tales that aren't true.
I mean, I got it right here.
He
passed
had
away at age 60. Died from late sequela of cerebral infarction. That's a lot of words I've never heard before.
Yes, it is. Cerebral is the only one I knew.
His brain. Yeah.
He had some substance abuse issues
Oh, okay.
from way back. From my understanding, I think that's why he stepped away. Cold Logic said friggin' Elon Musk will probably buy it. He'll rename it X Conflicts. You're absolutely right, referring to the Alex Jones show,
Oh.
InfoWars. That's fucking fantastic, Cold Logic. You're absolutely right. I almost said Alex Jones died, but no, the dude from American Pickers passed. It seems like you are still dealing with the loss. But if you don't mind, I'm going to continue.
It seems like a sequela is... So he had a cerebral infarction, which I think means he had some sort of stroke.
Fire Striker just...
Oh, thank God.
He essentially died from the latter effects of a stroke.
Okay, yeah, that's what I found. A sequela is like the aftermaths of a stroke.
Yeah.
So he didn't get a stroke and die. He got a stroke, survived, and then was like, I'm not feeling too great, and then died.
Wow. That
In
sucks.
layman's terms. Obviously, we have a nurse present. But, yeah.
So,
Thank you for the help, Pauline.
we got a SpongeBob Wendy's
Oh, no.
mashup.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with this.
SpongeBob's Krabby Patties
Oh, I did hear about this. But
are
it's
coming
not...
to Wendy's.
Sure.
I'm going to get one. They're already out. I want one.
Well, fucking act quick, bro. That shit goes
I know.
so quickly.
I know. I've heard it's not good. No. Fire Striker posted an emote of herself waving.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
I would argue that it is not an official Krabby Patty unless dunked in seawater.
Oh.
But you do you, King.
Damn.
And by King, I mean Queen, because it's Wendy's, right? Not Burger King.
Farm Girl, I think. I think that's what they're going for with Wendy. But yeah.
Listen, all women are queens, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, no, sure. Thought we were talking occupation, but if you want to go that way.
No,
Agreed.
she's just I don't think...
I think she's a child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. That's what I was getting at. I don't think there is an occupation to be
had. Netflix cancels that 90s show after 2 seasons. That's 1 season too many. Well, 2 seasons too many. But
Weren't you? Oh no, my dad was watching that.
I like that 70s show. It's one of the only sitcoms I can stomach.
Well,
It did in fact get old though.
if you
The 90s
are
show.
a fan or even slightly interested in that 90s show, watch it right the fuck now before they remove it. Because they can just remove whatever the fuck they want.
Moving on.
Yes, please.
Teen becomes first Tetris NES player to clear level 255 and achieve the mythical rebirth.
I saw this. I
You
did not
st-
see it live.
Oh,
but I saw a
okay,
video
alright.
of it, though. It's very exciting.
Yeah. That's very exciting.
It's so fascinating to me because, like, I feel like just recently, like a year ago, there was another Tetris like world record that was broken. It made news because that fucking shitty British newswoman was like, "I recommend you get a life and stop playing video games." And she was like real shitty about it. But my point I'm trying to make is like, I can't believe that Tetris, a game from I believe 89 or 87, no, it's 89. I can't believe it's still in the news. We're just keep doing things with Tetris. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that.
For such a simple game, too,
Yes,
conceptually.
no, exactly.
Cold Logic says, Wendy Thomas is 62. Time to update the pic on the restaurant. I would be cool with that. If they just, like, she's got pigtails and stuff and in the overalls and shit, but it's just, she's older now. I think she runs the restaurant. Here's the last bit of news we got. Speaking of cancellations, Velma
thank Christ.
is officially confirmed. Hold on. Max confirmed series cancellation with official statement on Velma.
So no season 2?
No, I think we're getting season 2, but that's it.
2 seasons too many.
Another 2 seasons too many.
I feel like, I know you're a fan and I'm not. I feel like that 90s show deserved a try. I'd say 1 season too many on that 90s show.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that.
But as far as Velma is concerned, I don't know how that was ever fucking greenlit.
So
I can't believe that shit, dude.
Cold Logic says, no, exactly like the movies, but it was still a big deal. No, exactly like the movie, but it was still a big deal. Not sure what that's in reference to. Thunder, I said the same thing, I think referring to Velma. So here's the deal, right?
Yeah.
They made a Scooby-Doo show starring Velma, and they made her black.
No, they made her Indian.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're right.
Because it's created and voiced by Mindy Kaling.
Yes. Every single thing I just listed are not the reasons why the show didn't work.
No.
This show didn't work because every person involved in it did not give a shit about the Mystery Gang.
Right.
No.
Wait, did you watch this show?
I've seen trailers. Like, I can tell just by watching it. I'm like, none of this is the Mystery Gang.
Yeah.
And if you want to do an edgy adult take on them, you absolutely can. Why did you change all of their personalities? Just every single bit I've seen about this, I'm like, oh, wow, this reminds me this much. 0%.
Yeah.
Does this remind me of Scooby-Doo? I don't know why that didn't send. Oh, Tetra started some stuff back in the day. No,
like the movie, and then the continuation was like the movie.
Oh, yes.
The Tetris movie.
Yeah.
That I want to see. I just haven't because it's Apple Plus exclusive. Yeah, I can't seem to find. I did a quick Google. I can't seem to find it. There was this like promo image that they released. The first thing they ever released from Velma was this image, and the image is literally all you need to know about why to not watch Velma, because it was like 4 different things in once that I was just like, oh, okay, so this isn't Scooby-Doo. You hear that on that show? There is no Scooby. It's a woman who's like has the nickname Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
Who Shaggy like falls in love with or whatever. It seems like that show is
Fuck Hot Dog
pretty
Water,
bad.
I guess.
Well, Hot Dog Water was Velma's
Oh, shit, you're right.
love interest. No, the fucking WB has been saying fuck Hot Dog Water for the last 14 years. They refuse to bring her back. I guess the only canonical death.
My point being, though, I know that the media is going to spin it so that it seems like the show failed because of the protagonists, their ethnicity, and gender.
Oh,
But
yeah,
those
no,
really
it's like,
aren't the reasons the show didn't
It's exactly the same conversation as Ghostbusters 2016. That movie did not fail because it's an all-women cast.
Right.
That movie failed because it fucking blew chunks.
Right.
No one liked that movie. It was a terrible movie. The fact that they're all women has nothing to do with the fact that it was an unfunny movie.
Also, the Velma TV show, it really just felt like, Lightning, what does your shirt say? Not trying to sidetrack, just been trying to... Oh, so this is Shuckle the Pokemon, and it says... Hold on, gotta stand up for the whole thing. It says, don't fuckle with Shuckle. Thank you for asking. Velma the TV show, from what I've seen, just seemed like a show Mindy Kaling wanted to make, and they decided to put a Scooby-Doo skin on it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. And the way they make Scooby-Doo, like, basically all Scooby-Doo media, like, ceased production to make room for Velma, which is, like, not fair to the children who like Scooby-Doo, because Velma is not a children's show.
I'm not opposed to an adult Scooby-Doo spinoff.
No one's done it right yet.
Yes.
No one has done it right yet. There was Mystery Incorporated, which was that shitty YouTube We Made Riverdale, but it's Scooby-Doo thing. That's not a real show. That's just like a test. I think it's one episode. There's that, which failed. There's Velma, which failed. And then there's the fucking Scooby Apocalypse comic, which I really didn't like. I didn't even finish it. And the problem that I'm having over here
with Goop,
is that we've been doing it for so long that
we've got a lot of the products that she's not selling.
Yeah. There's also, let's see what this looks like. There's a bunch of cool little
Yeah.
Excuse me?
There's always at least one.
Okay, let's do this one. So I have 2. I've found 2. But before we get into that, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Something about Scooby-Doo. It doesn't matter. Velma sucked. I'm glad it's gone. I hope it never comes back ever. Oh, the other thing I was going to say about Velma is that the other thing that happened with Velma in the news when it was coming out is that HBO, if you remember, they had like a big purge of like a bunch of content for some reason. And then when Velma dropped, everyone was like, this show sucks. And then HBO was like, the number one cartoon release on HBO Max ever or whatever. And it's like, that's because it's because you deleted them all. It's not even a meme. That's why this is happening, because you deleted them all. So, welcome to, we've only been going for 47 minutes.
I got an hour over here, but okay.
Right, since we, because you have to take in the 10 minutes for the intro.
Right. I think that's okay. I mean, it's one. That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you're okay with that, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then this is the end of our podcast. We are doing Goop Troop. It is a segment that we do here on Thunder and Lightning Gaming, where we go to the website goop.com, which is a snake oil racket peddled by actress of stage and screen Gwyneth Paltrow, my personal arch rival. Some people have arch rivals. For Superman, it's Lex Luthor. For SpongeBob, I picked a bad example, probably Squidward. For Squidward, it's SpongeBob. And for me, it's Gwyneth Paltrow. She knows what she did.
Who's mine?
And I think yours is Justin Bieber, right?
No, I've gotten over that.
Yeah.
The dude's...
He's kind of mellowed out.
Yeah.
All the news about the child abuse kind of, yeah.
I mean, my issue with him back in the day was you're in influence to children, maybe act like it.
Which was a great point at the time.
But now he's not.
Right.
And the dude can just live his life. I mean, he started some shit with Orlando Bloom, apparently, once upon a time. As an adult, he was my number one on the Punch If I Become Famous list. I don't think he's even on the list anymore.
If you become famous.
Yeah.
When you become famous is when you should stop punching people.
No, that's when you start.
No, that's when you stop punching people, because that's bad PR and you won't get hired for... At the beginning of your professional, famous career, that's when you want to not punch people.
See, okay, Fire Striker brought up a great one in chat, too. Metallica. Not the whole band. I don't like Lars and I don't like James Hetfield. And it's because that's how he talks.
No, I know, but you didn't have to...
I have to. When I say his name, I have to.
I guess I was wrong.
It's impulsive.
My mistake.
They're also kind of in that... The issue with... No, they're just tools. They just think way too highly of themselves. And I can't
Probably
say it's
not anymore, right? You gotta
No,
assume
it's
not
gotten
anymore.
worse with age.
Oh, really?
It's gotten worse with age because they keep getting acolytes because they made songs in the 80s.
Accolades.
Acolyte
is the failed Star Wars project from
yes.
Disney, which you should also watch if you're interested. Cause
that was a great show.
It.
Hey, guess what? Great show? No, that also failed. Never mind. I was going to say it was a great show, and it was successful. It wasn't.
No,
it
failed. Yeah. Definitely watch it if you haven't yet, because it's going to get removed.
No, but
that's how Disney does stuff.
That show was good. I think it's just you. Oh, yeah?
Me? I'm your arch rival? No. That'd be crazy.
Imagine.
A crazy dynamic. Welcome to Thunder Lightning Gaming. I'm Thunder, and I'm Lightning. I hate this guy. So what we do here at Goop.com, this is Goop Troop. Goop Troop. What we do at Goop and during the Goop Troop is that I have a product in front of me. I'm going to say the name of it. I'm going to say everything that the site says about it other than the price. And it is up to Chris and whoever would like to in chat to guess the price. And the reason this is a game and not just trivia is that this site fucking makes up their own prices and does whatever they want, and it's crazy.
Based off of no market that's out there currently.
Yeah. And I was talking with my mom about this because I think Gwyneth came up in a movie trivia game or something, and so we got talking about Goop, and she asked a very important question, and she was like, she basically asked who is buying stuff from Goop. I don't think so. This site wants you to believe that it is for the Hollywood elite. Oh, this is where Kim Kardashian and Selena Gomez and George Clooney get their makeup. So that's where I should get mine, but that's why it's so expensive. That explains the price. But what we fall into is this category where no, first of all, no, the rich Hollywood elite is not buying from Goop. All the only people who buy from this are young, impressionable millennials and Gen Z.
It
who
reminds me of Hollywood Planet, the restaurants, where it's like in that regard, where it's like, oh well, this is obviously if you go to Hollywood, this is where that's like what they want you to think.
Right.
But no, it's just it's all a lie. It's all Disney World fantasy.
That's why there's so many buzzwords. Like that's when we looked at that. Like it was like a bureau. It was like a dresser. They mentioned Kanye West, and the way they did it was like the designer of this dresser has designed stuff for Kanye West in the past,
but not this.
All I see is the word Kanye West, and I'm like, whoa, Kanye West has this. I want it because I'm an impressionable rich. I don't know. Anyways. So I've got two today.
Awesome.
This is, I picked it because it's just named so plainly. It's called Sleek Skirt.
Ooh.
This is just, let me see if I can I cannot get the whole thing on screen. I apologize. Oh, what if I click on the image? Hey, there we go. Ooh, you can click on the images. Thanks, Gwyneth. There we go.
Okay.
There's the skirt. There is, as far as I can tell, a top that goes with it. Yeah, there's a top that goes with it. I can only assume sold separately.
Right.
But we will get into that right now. This is the Sleek Skirt from LA Double J, is I'm assuming how you're supposed to pronounce that. Or La Double J.
Sounds accurate.
Done in a slinky Italian satin. This maxi skirt is fitted at the waist and through the hips, then flares out to a swishy flare at the hem. Because it's LA Double J, the print is a scene stealer, turquoise lacework and flowers on a bronzy ground. If you want to go all in, make it a set with the matching Make an Exit top, and then there's a link to that. It's 100%, this word we've got before, 100% viscose, which I am, my theory is that this word is to trick you into thinking it says Versace.
I'm Wumbo, you're Wumbo.
And then made in Italy.
Okay.
So that's literally it.
So the name of the game is Guess the Price You Think It Costs. I'm going to say this is $300. We're going to wait a little bit to see if anybody in chat wants to throw their prices in.
I will reiterate, just the skirt. The top is a separate purchase on the website that you can go look at for yourself. There's a lot of there's a bunch of other LA Double J stuff.
Anybody want to throw their hat in the ring? I'm at $300. Oh, we got a couple, I think. No, we just got one. $250 for Fire Striker, so people think I'm on the mark.
Okay. We'll wait one more moment until I reveal. I do have the shirt here for comparison.
Good.
It's in the, believe it or not.
Oh, we got another one.
Nice.
$325 from Cold Logic. So we're all in the same boat. All right.
Say yours again.
$300.
Okay. Cold Logic. What's the term? Narrow casted in the appropriate direction. You are the winner, because the LA Double J Sleek Skirt is going to throw you back $890. And the shirt, if you want the matching top, that's going to be an extra $850.
Holy shit.
So
they want
that's
$1,600?
Nope, $1,740.
How? If they're both $800.
$890?
Oh.
$850.
Oh my god.
So do the math. I believe that's $1,740 for one outfit.
I thought you said $800 for the first one. Holy
no, $890.
Shit.
$890.
I had to reload. My internet is trash today. Did I miss it? You did.
You did. You won.
So
was that Cold Logic?
You did win.
Yeah,
that is
won.
Cold Logic.
The skirt was $890, and the matching top is an extra $850. So $1,740 for the whole get up.
The whole fit.
Just in case I wasn't clear, that's $890, not $8.90, which is probably.
Oh my God, says Cold Logic.
Do you think that's the issue? Do you think whoever writes the prices doesn't know how prices work? They add one too many zeros, This is supposed
That
to be
could be the
$8.
case.
This is supposed to be $8.90.
Gwyneth is like, why is nobody buying?
I have really affordable prices, and she like does. Okay, next up, we have what I think is a vase. Yeah, this is a vase or a vase, as some say. This is a Goop product. Sometimes typically they have other designers come in. This one is by Goop. It's Goop Cross Foundrae, Foundrae. That's who made it. So it's a collaboration between Foundrae and Goop. This is the Lobmeyer Inner Light Vase. We got a picture of it here.
Ooh, okay, bad start. It looked like a Starbucks coffee cup to me for a second. That is not a great looking vase.
I had a question about size. This will help. That's it with a.
Oh, it is a Starbucks
That's
coffee
it
cup.
with a flower in it.
It's a glass cup. Excellent.
No.
Oh,
It's a Lobmeyer Inner Light Vase.
that's this tall.
But it was made in Austria, Chris.
Okay.
Created with. Oh, did we have chats?
Yeah. What could a single banana cost, Michael? $10. $10. Oh wait, what is that from? Oh
Arrested
shit.
Development, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Holy shit. No, that's exactly the vibe, Cold Logic.
Have you seen those videos where they time his internal thoughts when Ron Howard's like, it's been exactly 41 seconds since George Michael has said anything.
No.
And he's just been standing there in silence. People time it, and it's always accurate.
That's crazy. Also, Firestriker says that's way too much for a single skirt. You are absolutely correct. Let's see what this cup costs.
It is
also
a
love
vase.
Arrested Development.
It is a vase.
Yeah.
Created with the distinguished Viennese glassmaker Lobmeyer. I'm assuming that means they're from Vienna. I've just never seen it written like that. This limited edition, so
Ooh.
already we're starting early. Limited edition vase is mouth blown from lead-free crystal and embellished with Oh, I thought it said archetypical. That's not what it says. Archetypal. I don't think that's a word. Archetypal Foundrae symbols. Foundrae is the company that made it. Symbols like the golden keys, in parentheses, a nod to the way our birth charts can unlock insights about ourselves. And the 4 elements, which stand for stability, adaptability, energy, and expansion. Oh, God. So this is some what do you call that when you, astrology. This is an astrology cup. I mean vase. And the medallions encircling the rim, ? They represent key Foundrae tenets like resilience, love, passion, dreams, and more. Oh, is Foundrae like a religion? Oh, I don't know about that. I think I don't know. Okay, so Foundrae is the people who came up with the design, and then Goop made the thing, I think.
Okay.
100% lead-free crystal made in Austria.
Thank God. It's lead-free. Great start.
Made in Austria. Yeah, that's kind of alarming. The term 100% lead-free crystal makes me to believe that typically crystals have lead in them.
At least the ones they sell on Goop.
On this fucking website.
Cold Logic. Ooh, we already got one in there. Cold Logic says they name dropped the maker birth charts in the 4 elements. $1,200.
I mean, you got limited edition. You got
I know.
mouth-blown, lead-free crystal.
Somebody blew it with their mouth.
How much did he say?
$1,200.
When what is your?
I didn't say it yet.
I know. I'm asking you.
$600.
$600. Okay.
Do we have any last takers before we reveal the price?
Oh, also, just an update from the goop.com. There's
Yeah.
only 3 left in stock.
$1,000 from Firestriker.
That's another theory I have about this site. It says 3 left in stock.
They only have 3.
They've
only made 3.
They made 3.
That's why it's limited edition.
No one's buying this vase. So we've
No.
got you with 600.
I want to market like that poison-free chicken sandwiches. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You don't have to. It's like you see that you're like poison for what? Would the other ones have poison in them? I don't think you have to say poison free.
Let's put that in our Instagram blurb underneath us.
Pop culture.
No racism.
Yeah, exactly. Follow us for pop culture news. Not racist. It's just unnecessary, man.
It just sounds suspicious instantly.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so you said 600.
Cold
Pauline.
Logic 1,200. Pauline 1,000.
Cold Logic, you win again because the Lobmeyer Inner Light Vase from Goop Cross Foundry is going to set you back a crystal clean $2,500.
It's a cup. It's a cup.
No, it's a vase.
It's this big.
It's imported from Austria.
It doesn't have lead.
It doesn't have lead. You're not thinking about the lack of lead content in the glass crystals that are going to help with your birth cycle or whatever the fuck. Did you forget the 4 elements? Stability, adaptability, energy, and expansion. Fuck fire, earth, water, and grass. It's stability, adaptability, energy, and expansion. That's easily 200 for each. It all adds up, Chris.
Cold Logic says, I almost said 2K when you said there's only 3. Dude, there's only 3 of anything that she's made. Except the candles. Everybody wanted the "This smells like my vagina" candle.
Except until it burned someone's house down.
Right.
Then we were it was already in the news. Like the vagina eggs, the jade egg, I guess it's called, made a little bit of news because that was like her opening offer basically. And then she did the vagina candles, and people were like, "What? What a crazy! Was she so weird?" And then it burned someone's house down, and everyone was like, "Hold on."
She's just selling prototypes, says Cold Logic. You're absolutely right. For whatever reason, she's the only person who can treat the internet business-wise like the Wild West, where she's like, I'll sell whatever the fuck. Well, okay, actually, that's not true. So, Cold Logic, we've been playing this game almost 3 years now on Twitch or something like that.
Yeah.
She used to be bananas. She used to sell vampire repellent on the site. You can't get the vampire repellent anymore. Somebody definitely sued her at one point.
Recently there was a very public lawsuit that Goop actually won. I remember there was a meme that came out of it where she like whispered something to the defendant or whatever, or the plaintiff, and people were like, what did she say? Haha. So there was definitely a public lawsuit that they did win, but before that, you and I noticed a change in this website. Yeah. There was clearly, at least this is all inference. This is what we think based on what we know about this site, which is only the things we've told you. To be completely transparent, I don't do any outside research about Goop. Even though everyone knows I want to. There was definitely a behind closed doors like formatting, like scam artists focused lawsuit that definitely resulted in the site looking more like every other website. Yeah. Still having some of the crazy stuff, but harder to find.
Yeah.
There used to be 3 categories. Now there's like 8, and each one has like 2 to 10 subcategories of like accessories. And it'll be like, sure, choose. Like it used to just be like, it used to not be a normal website. It used to just be like beauty, wellness, or I think fitness or something like that. And it was just like this huge long list. It was a terrible formatted site. So the formatting is better, absolutely. I will give them that. But they clearly, something happened and they had to change their way.
Cold Logic says the eggs gave people toxic shock and the candles burn hotter than the sun.
I love that. Just negative marketing. Anti-zombie spray. Prove it doesn't work.
No, exactly. Well, that was her point.
Well, that's the whole... Yes, exactly. Because that's the whole point with the vampire repellent. Sure, it's like... Is the vampire repellent a meme gift? Because if it's a meme gift, that doesn't explain the price.
Right.
It was like $180 bucks or something.
If it's a gag like Newberry Comics gift.
Right,
sure.
Exactly. If it's a $3 spray of like water and sugar, it's just like, oh, it'll get rid of vampires. But this fucking site selling it for like anywhere between $1 and $180 bucks. I don't remember.
3 paragraphs of why this will absolutely keep vampires away.
Implying that vampires aren't fictional.
Implying that Gwyneth Paltrow believes that vampires are real.
Yes. Does she not care about... She clearly doesn't care about her public image. Because if the only thing that everyday so-and-sos know about Goop is that Gwyneth Paltrow is doing it.
Right.
They know the crazy stuff like the candle and the egg, but essentially beyond that, they just know that it's Gwyneth Paltrow's thing that she's doing. If you go to her website and you see vampire repellent and the description is how to ward off vampires, a thread, you're going to be like, whoa. The actress who plays Pepper Potts thinks vampires are real.
I was gonna butt in and say that implies that there could have, in actuality, been a conversation. Because didn't Johnny... Oh, no, wait.
No.
I was thinking of the wrong person. Was Robert Downey Jr. in anything with... wasn't he a vampire at one point? No, he was in Frankenstein.
No, he was not in Frankenstein. He was in Sherlock Holmes.
Right.
I don't think he played. I don't think he's played Frankenstein or a vamp. I don't think he's played a vampire. I don't think so.
To forget what I was going to say. I was just going to say there could have been a conversation with Gwyneth Paltrow where if she was working with an actor who had played one before, just been like, so did you study a real one?
Well, she worked with Brad Pitt on Seven.
Oh, shit, that's right, she did.
She worked very closely with Brad Pitt on Seven, and he was the interview with the vampire.
That might have been what I was thinking. So that implies that conversation could have happened.
Can you imagine your like almost 30-year-old Brad Pitt? You're on the set of Seven, and you just got Gwyneth Paltrow. He's like this. You just got Gwyneth Paltrow here. Like, yeah. So the depiction of vampires in Interview with the Vampire is way off. So here's what's up. They're actually real. The garlic thing, it's total bullshit. I'm working on an antidote right now as we speak. And he's just like, yeah, okay, just fucking all right. What's my line again? Get in the box? No, it's what's in the box. Okay, got it. Thank you. Sorry, I got wildly distracted. It's not usually something that happens to me, Brad Pitt, America's sweetheart.
Holy shit.
Fuck her, dude. Oh my god. Every time we talk about her, it just builds this rage in me.
They very nearly cast RDJ in a...
I did know that. Lestat is Tom Cruise's character in Interview with a Vampire. It was almost RDJ. I actually did know that. Fun fact, I think I told you, but maybe not on stream, just something that happened. I was cat sitting a few weeks ago, so I was bored, and I was feeling like, we talked about this recently, I was feeling spooky vibes, but I didn't want to go straight horror yet, so I watched Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and I watched Interview with a Vampire. Turns out, those movies came out the same month. November 1994. I didn't know that until I started watching the second one. I'm on the Wikipedia page. I was like, that's the same fucking, like, these movies were in theaters at the same time.
That's crazy.
And I didn't know that. I just happened to like catch a vibe. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go right into Interview with the Vampire. That'll be nice. And then I was like, oh, same vibe, same. It's like not super similar, but it's like that shit that always happens where it's like no strings attached and Friends with Benefits in theaters at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just
right.
like two like basically like Shakespearean takes on like classic like monster movies.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It was cool. Both those movies, by the way, are great. I can't recommend them enough. The Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is the most accurate to the book. He changed exactly one thing. That was the ending, and I think he changed it for the better. I like the ending in the movie better than the book.
Okay.
Because the book, I don't want to say the word, but there's a R word. There's a lot of that at the end of the book.
Okay. I might be thinking of the wrong R word.
The R word that you're not supposed to do to another person.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a
lot
of that at the end of the Frankenstein book.
Interesting.
He basically he did take all that out and replaced it with something else. And I don't know if that was the point, but I think it made for a more cohesive story. I need good Anne Rice vampire movies. Interview was good, but it lacked some details. Yeah, exactly. So Interview with a Vampire is like 23 books or something.
Oh, wow.
There is a new TV show. They got the guy who played Grey Worm to play Tom Cruise's character.
Oh, okay.
I am going to watch that soon, but apparently, yeah, I think Interview with a Vampire is like the third book out of like 20 or something. And I guess the TV show is ongoing. And the books are like super gay. The movie dumbed that down a lot, but apparently the TV show brings it back, and it's like a very queer-heavy show, which is awesome because it sounds like that was the intended format. You read all of them? Dude, that's crazy. Are they all, like, good? Because I know that sometimes when series go on for that long, there's, like, you know.
Really? Why this?
What is it?
It just says extra gay.
Oh.
There it is.
That's not offensive.
No.
Okay.
None of that was offensive. You put it in all caps? Were you too aggressive, Cold Logic? Was that the issue?
Twitch?
You were too aggressive with your gay?
God, that is not... Twitch Automod banning the word gay implies that they think being gay is not okay.
Right.
Like, that's...
Right.
Oh, my God, that's so frustrating. Because gay is not an insult.
They get really weird after, like, 2011. Oh, you mean the books.
Yeah.
The books. Gotcha.
Man, Twitch.tv killing it.
I think that's a podcast,
Yeah,
though.
I think that is a podcast. Public. Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm not a big book guy, unfortunately. Every time I'm here wanting to read books, but every time I try to, I just like
Go the audiobook route. That's what I've been doing on my. I'm almost done with Lord of the Rings, by the way. Actually, listen to this. One small antidote before we leave.
Yeah.
I'm in the last 10 minutes of the last chapter of Return of the King.
Nice.
I've run out of audiobook time on Spotify for the month.
Oh no! So what happens?
I wait.
Oh no!
I wait.
Wait for the month. It's only the 11th.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I drive for like 3 hours to get to and from.
Right.
So I was like, I started this internship 5 weeks ago, halfway through the Two Towers, and I'm already at the end of Return of the King. Suggesting Hyperion. No, as a good book, Hyperion. Interesting. But yeah, so I'll let you know. What them hobbitses are up to.
Okay.
In a month, and then I'm gonna do the Silmarillion, and then the Unfinished Tales by Tolkien, I believe it's called.
Okay.
Lightning.
I believe you.
Get the Simply E app. You can check out audiobooks from the library. You know, somebody told me about that.
Kelsey does this. Kelsey,
somebody at school also told me.
Kelsey, I know Kelsey has an app that she rents books from the library.
So here's the deal. For the future, I'll probably do that. For this last book, I am treating myself to Andy Serkis's interpretation.
Yeah.
So and I think that's a Spotify exclusive thing. So I'm at least going to finish Lord of the Rings that route, but I might end up going this route after that for everything else.
I anticipate, and I hope for your sake I'm incorrect, but I anticipate you, as someone who's never read them, I anticipate you liking the Silmarillion and the Unfinished Tales less. From what I've heard, they're less, I want to say coherent. That's maybe not the right word, but they're just less like, I don't know. The lack of structure, the three arc. Did you start this with The Hobbit? Did you read The Hobbit too? Oh, okay, cool. Because he wrote that afterwards, but it is a prequel, right? Is that how it works?
No, he wrote The Hobbit first.
Oh, okay.
He wrote The Hobbit first, then he wrote Lord of the Rings, but I think he had conceptualized a lot of this beforehand.
Yeah.
The Silmarillion, I don't know where that lands, and you can only assume the untold tale, unfinished
Well, the
tales
Silmarillion is
after.
like a collection of shorter stories.
Yeah,
so they probably. Oh, you mean when he wrote it? I'm sorry. You mean when he? Yeah, I assume afterwards. And I'm assuming the Unfinished Tales are unfinished because he died.
That's what I'm assuming. I don't know if that's the case, but you can only assume so. Yeah, I'm just starting to get into them. Mainly because I'm a nerd and I like Lord of the Rings, and I'd love to know what. I'm just such a slow reader. I'd spend my whole life just finishing Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And that's also the reason why I'm trying to do the Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales, because I just want to know what's going on.
The last book I read was Ready Player One. That is a great book.
Yeah, you said that.
I read it because we were doing a podcast on the movie, and I just felt like reading the book for it. And I'm glad I did because it made me enjoy the movie more. The sequel I will not read because I've heard terrible things about it. He made the sequel recently,
right?
Because they were planning on making a movie out of it. Because he made it after the movie, because the movie was successful or whatever. But apparently the sequel is trash.
Oh wow! Cold Logic says that is a great book. The sequel made me sad.
Sad with how terrible it was. I'm assuming, or maybe it's just a sad book, and I'm projecting. But yeah, I heard not great things. I heard a lot of like cringe surrounding it. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people being like, this guy forgot how to write. This is the word.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems not great. So don't look for a Ready Player 2 movie anytime soon.
Damn.
Because it probably won't happen unless it's already happening and I don't know about it.
No, I think we would have gotten wind of that. Movie's not that new at this point.
Ready Player One? It's like 2019, right? 2018, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It's so cringy. It's bad. Very obvious cash grab. Yeah, that's. I wonder why. I wonder if it was him doing it, if it was Spielberg pressuring him to make another book so
Right,
they could make
right.
a movie. You just don't know with those things. I'm sure it was him capitalizing on the success of the movie, because that movie, as much as I was like just kind of mid on it, I did enjoy it, but definitely not like top 10 movies of all time. That movie went crazy. People loved that movie for some reason. I think people just like Smash Brothers. I think people just like the Avengers. They're just like, oh, it's that person.
Right,
oh,
right,
it's,
right, right.
Oh, it's Mickey Mouse. It's Goro from. It's the Ninja Turtles. What? It's Godzilla. Oh my God! And there's some of that in the book, but it's way more subtle, probably because it's a book.
Sure.
And you can't do like in the movie. There's a scene with no words where it's just like King Kong fighting Mechagodzilla or something. You can't do that in the book. You can't have like a reveal of like, you know what I mean? Like there's things that work visually that don't work
in
in a
the
book, and it breeds more like moments of that where you, an audience member, are supposed to be going apeshit because Optimus Prime showed up, but I think you and I share the same sentiment. I just didn't care. I was like, please get on with the story. I was enjoying it.
Right.
Whereas in the book, it's more subtle. It's like this sort of happened. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Iron Giant not in the book, by the way.
I was, you know what's funny? I was actually just sitting here wondering about that.
No, it's because Spielberg just had access to all the things. That's why, like, the Ninja Turtles who show up in the movie are the movie version of the Ninja Turtles, because they're just, like, assets he already had.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of games that got canceled really quickly and didn't take off like Conquered, there was a game called, I just had it. It was called Paragon, I think. It was like an Overwatch clone, and if you watch the movie, there's a ton of Paragon characters in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Because they thought that oh no, it's called Battleborn. That's what it's called. The game is called Battleborn. Paragon actually was a good game. Battleborn was the Overwatch clone that didn't do well. No one played that game, no one cared about it, but they thought it was going to be like so huge, so they put like tons of Battleborn and Overwatch characters in Ready Player One, but I recognized the Overwatch characters.
Right.
And I had to look up afterwards, like, how many people appeared in the Space Jam New Legacy trailer type video of like, oh wow, there's 9 Battleborn characters in this movie. Huh.
That's funny.
But anyways, yeah, sorry, we got a little rambly
okay.
at the end. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, let's plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.